지도 파 장야지 장야들은 랭이 좀 치와 제 랭이 좀 발도제 제와지 파장 이 장야디 시 정시 이 정시사 무슨
So looks like we are still at the Keishi Pato, verse number 90. Okay. So Keishi Pato, that means in second line, this is birth, death, and pardo. Right? We have been talking about what is birth and death and the pardo. So because the reason why we need to talk about it or why we need to know about it, because these things, when we do a practice for three kayas, this is what we do. They do three kayas. I don't see the two practice. Okay, first is yoga transformation. Anyway, so three kayas. Yeah, three kayas means three body of Buddhas. When we practice that, we need to know about the nature of these things, the birth, death, and pardo, because these are the things we are trying to purify. Normally, we have birth, death, and pardo because they are impure and they are produced by the karma and mental afflictions. That's why they are impure. They need to be purified. That's what we need to know about all these things.
that is that means that lama chiba the tea the amarba that day on number about 20 to Tombala Sanjay lama rimba nyalo locus that ne 다 아기시 바도 숨부지 장내 산지 주고만 주발라 그래서는 아니 라무리 많이 다 근데 기름이다 조림 시제 그래 로컬이 시제
So Rinpoche is reading from this commentary on the Lama Chopa, and this text is said that if you rely on or if you
담배는 줄수가 담배는 줄세티 남 나디 담배들이야 기름도 조림스 다른 담배는 줄세티 기름들이스.
So if you look at the text, it says, inspire me to practice the first stage. The first stage, there are two stages in Tantrayana or the Vajrayana. And if you're relying on this practice and willing to obtain enlightenment, so then you need to rely on this, the three kayas, practice of three kayas. So practice of three kayas means purify the ordinary or the impure nature of death, the birth, death, and the pardo.
That means 먼저 다지 공스 이지 다지 세네좀 다지 세티 없이 그 기름 공지야리스.
So if you're familiar with the practice called dage or the the dage is sadhana, something they use is sadhana, right? So then the Yamataka sadhana, Vajrayana sadhana, and so on, these are mainly practicing on three kayas.
다지 공주 잠바 저기 구슬 남기 제구야리스.
So this three kayas means this practice on first stage, or means the generation stages. Yeah. So then in that practice you're practicing these three transforming the three natures like birth, death, and pardo into divine.
세상다 구슬 남기 제구에서 되네. 다디 담부디 지어주고 남기 제구래. Tene patulung lamji che, tene kyo tudu lamji che, lamji sumbuti tambu odiri chua chugu lamji cheburis, tene patulung lamji, tene kyo tudu lamji cheburis.
So in these generation stages, in that practice, the order of the practice would be first you need to practice Chiwa Chupu means taking that as a Dharmanakaya, and the second one is called the what's the name? Bardo as a Sambhogakaya, birth as a Nirmanakaya.
Dati chua chugu lamji ti chitu chamba kachiga yaresa, karichiga yaresa, lengi chungi chua tipa mayonga chidu, tipa changyaga chidu. Lengi chungi chua chisuna ta lengi chungi teni patu tu. Tani lengi chungi chisuna ta teni lengi chungi patu tu ya, patu ti lengi chungi chua ni ya tiyarba. Tiya sata chua chugu lamji kapita pachangya ti lengi chungi chua ti pachang pes. Nandu tanda patu lengi chungi chua tu tunge dile matara chayarba. Yang chi, yang patu lekyo, yang kyo ides chayarba. Tati dil miju yang chedu lengi chungi chua ti pachangya chedu ta chua chugi lamji set che.
So goal of doing this practice, our goal is to eliminate or eradicate the ordinary death. Okay, so when we do the first practice, taking that as the Dharmanakaya. Okay. So in that time, so we try to avoid ordinary death. So then if we are not able to avoid ordinary death, so more likely we're going to pick up ordinary battle, then subsequently we will have ordinary rebirth. So in order to stop all this, so we need to, so then once we die with ordinary death or the karmic kind of a propelled death occurs, so then we will lose the control over the pardo. So we may end up taking ordinary pardo, and then the ordinary death. The birth, right? So then that has been happening. Like it kind of this manner has been happening for a long time. So that's why, in order to avoid that, so that we try to practice the kayas that they enable us to stop ordinary death, and then subsequently it comes like pardo as sambhogakaya and so on.
Dati che. Tene ta chamishi niju che tar jeshin jiba rinpa ta tumba tenda temba jebe te kulul yansu chopa jizu sheku tela yang tomar niju shinji tombe rinpa ta tumba ta tiri ta 기름 공부하나 가지고 그랬으니 담부딜라 라주고 이제 되는 중이야 말이야. 다다 기주 잠바 된다 땜배 긴고도 제가 제고리스 땜발하다. 대시에 가나서부터 제고리야리스.
So in this practice, and this practice means the first stage or the generation stage, okay, generation stage. So when we do this practice, it's said that you have to have two things. You cannot be generate yourself as only deity without mandala. So in order to complete this practice, do it like correctly. So you have to have support mandala and being as a deity in that mandala.
다때네 chua chugu lamgi chitu ni chu ni tongbe rinpa te chen tambu 女主动员的党部那的那与举起生这的跑动，的呢，当地的但把那在写看公园的那几点的，马达的那几点的讲下的去的，在写看是，我能注意呢，马达的那几点的农就业了吧，马达的刚来年就刚啥的，马达的几点的农就业了吧，他马达的几点的这样子的，那你。在写看了什么都是结果也是，
So the purpose of doing this practice is a combination of habitat and inhabited, or the support or the being, right? So that is because the when we visualize or meditate on the mandala or the celestial palace of the Buddhas, so that actually purifies any impure or imperfection of the universal or the habitat. Yeah. So otherwise, normally, so as an ordinary being, someone who's impure, so we heavily depend on impure universal and impure the habitats. So that's why, so we need in this visualization, in this practice, we need to have we have to have the mandala set as a purification for the universal or the habitat.
다때는 그 안에 우주디 제발라 지단체나 내지 주하고 구야래 당부 주기 선전 지구야래 스 주지 지대들이나 잠불린디 제발라 더마 주기 선전 din제 투수 되나 잠불리는 데에 주기 선전 투수 가시 레 답변이야 상대 가르수래 감고마들이야 게 가시디 아니 지대 감시한게 니디 디게 데이터 선수는 네 지지대디 개발 민지 추지 시전에 네 지지대디 동주에 디 디리버디 세구에 제선 네 저주 네 동주 달리티 차베 개발시지 동의 개발시지 집에 개발시지 어두스 세구에 제선에 인산다 네 지지대 주지선 되네 주지선 이제 동주 티시고 다 디나 신전에 단데 하기 제인도 잠바 쇼초게 지도 잠바 경남한테 마시스게라 시 경남한테 담보 치네 아니 저시 차고로 디림바 타고 비야 제가 담보 내기 지대디 네 지지대 동주대 하고 네 지지대 말에 네 지지대 동주 타고 네 지지대 동주 타고 네 주기심제 동주 타고 미엘라 주기심제 되게 동주로 봐 네 지지대 동주야 디나 신전에 동주에서 도수시구야 다지다제나 네 니 추어 추고 남게서야 디 네 지대 동주당 춤바체 네 니주의 지대 동주당 춤바체니 그거야 디에서 도시구에 지다제나
So this then for this practice also you need to understand how this world come into exist and how they get destructions, how they get destroyed, stuff like that. So in this world, first all the being get destroyed means like So this world becomes empty of any sentient beings. Some sentient beings that have power, they can leave this world and go to and the Samaya realm, sort of like, and then the other beings, they leave this world and go back to their abode, right? Abode, okay. So then this world becomes empty, and then we have like different types of distractions occurs take place, like fire, water, wind, and so on, right? So this is the order how that this world going to be destroyed. First, all sentient beings or beings who reside in this world will disappear. Then the world get the place or the earth get destroyed. Right. This is the manner how it happens. Then when we do this practice, this practice is very similar to the natural order of destruction, this world or universal. That's why we have like all this dissolution process. So this dissolution process is very similar to that natural disaster or natural destructions of our world.
네. 대양 토마르 누주 시진 동배림보다 춘발 두림기 권에 동이 공바 저 죽을람기스 다 되시게 저 죽을람기스야지 누주 시진 동바다 동배림보다 춘발 누주 지신 동배림보다 가르스는 담보 네 주지심제 뒤동 되는 누지 지대 뒤동 그게 누지 시진 동배림보다 춘발 두림기권에 다 두림기권에 sonju 두림지도 두림지인도 담바 가르쳐요. 담분을 지대니까 오스파트 누지 탐지 라라 라야 때문에 힘들어 주네. 아니 홍라팀스야를 지지제는 홍기시업주 하해 뭐 다지디 디나시제 아니 디네 다지 틀린나도 나들의 님이 봤으니 나와가 같이 버텨야지 제 아니 동산 차이지 주고 남기세야지 지기야라 어디에서 토마르 누주 시진 동배림보다 춘바라 도림기 권에 dunyi 공바 저 주구 남기를 당 저 주구 남기세야지 먼저 지게야 되네 엄마 삼보 지지 개버되는 엄마 삼보 라는다 조신글라도 최근에 때문에 또 다질러서 다 다음에 그래 시던 많이 주시기 지지야 지지 어디 저 주구 남기지기야 다 디디 냐나 삼도 다야지 니제 담제라는 라야 때문에 지시는 바신도 팀 아니 초파도 초투도 아니 사출을 좀 해야 돼 준비봐 어디 지나 신chen 왜야지 네 주구랑 계시게
So the taking that as Dharmanakaya is primarily we are meditating on emptiness, and then the process of meditating on emptiness is very similar to this destruction of this world or universe. So first we visualize that all habitant and inhabitant or support or the being, right? Something to say. So everything dissolves into me. Then I begin to dissolve into whom later at the heart, if you're relying on the practice of Yamataka. Yeah. So the top to the middle and the bottom to the middle dissolves into that. Then you have a whom letter, and this goes, all the way up to like the three appearances, stuff like that. And eventually you enter into you enter into the emptiness. You meditate on emptiness. This process is very similar to this session because at every time we try to eliminate each and every elements similar like that. So it happens when the universal kind of dissolves and stuff like that. And then oh gosh, no style. During oh yeah, and for instance, for instance, if you are doing a Yamataka practice and there's a section specifically meditate on this part, it said that me, I, and the my marriage failed. Everything is avoided, anything the truly existent, and any having like any holding any type of substantial quality, everything dissolves into emptiness. Something like that, very brief. Okay. So then at that point you meditate on emptiness. At that point you have dissolved everything. Everything, there's nothing left. Empty space. Empty, so empty. So at that point, you meditate on emptiness. So this process is very similar to the natural destructions of our universe. Yeah.
Tene ani chicha sone tene patu tubiraba patu tubi tubana shi chene ani patu lungulam kesiati yani karasukre jiji ina ani judo jidba jambe kiati tambu jiji maji kunga judo jidba jambe siti jeju jambe yanji kiyer di patu lungulam jitri di ke patu chanyati di jangiyer di namje di tati mambuya tenma rimba mambu chani tine judo jidba jambe kesa sunga di kesa sunga di tu jamba ta patu lungulam jese
So then, once you enter into this emptiness, mode of emptiness, or the state of emptiness, so that is similar to the clear light, ordinary clear light. And right after that, if you leave that moment, so then you enter into pardo round. So pardo land, if you're relying on practice of yamatakas at this point, you have generate yourself as the manjushri. Okay, so manjushri is the form of manjushri is substitute to your the pardo being, and also it by meditating on that, visualizing pardo as the manjushri, so that actually eradicates your ordinary the pardo experience, pardo being. So then, in this process, there's many details how you get into this form of the judiciary. Yeah, there's a process for that.
다 tene kanje dortuna kote buchevina tomba ni komi de zamba chua chubu di jang chua di jang diya ne tomba ngale judo jide ba gen de zamba patu di jang diya satu si gen de tambo tomni komi de zamba chua chubu nam ki di jang da tomba ngale ani judo jide ba se jambe kigreba Teaching in December, part to teach and there. Teaching it. In a part, show Judo December Jambeti, near teaching, Gigi, and told the Paki, gained. And it did your teaching there. Joliet. Gigi, and told King to take it to Joe to sing it. Dig any, they need to.
So if you make it simple, that means when you dissolve everything into empty and meditating on emptiness, so that point you are purifying ordinary death or the eradicating ordinary death. Ordinary death means there's something forced by mental affliction and karma. So there you will be purified that ordinary death. And then the next moment out of this emptiness, you make it simple. So then you generate as a Yamatak. I'm sorry, the Manjushri. So that Manjushri again eradicates ordinary bardo, and then after that you fully develop like a fully form of a Yamataka. So that actually eradicates ordinary birth. Yeah. So then these are these are the things that actually purifies ordinary experiences.
다들 당은 저 기름 그 값을 매번 이직이 있어야 돼. 무슨 난기세야 돼. 매번 이직이. 동반이 참바디 있잖아. 이 추워추. 정시디 추워디 삼바제. 동이고. 근데 뒤차서는 다 동이디 매번 이직이 공기하러 와. 최근에 심매번 인스 먼저 동이 단다. 또 마투네 최근에 심매번 인스네 공기하러 와. 디기 추워디 자. 근데 동바디 나래 네 라니 지도 잡아야 고르교가 지마가 지게가 고르교 때야 말이지 네 고르교에 매바 지게 여기 바툴룽구티 창게 바투티 창게 어디에서 뒤 제아도 좀 기름 그 수도 매바 예지기 전지기야 대대들 들어야 말이지 뒤교에 매바체
So at this
동무슨도 또야 말이지 동무슨도 또 매바체 아니 뒤나래 니 지주 잠배양 고군주 잠배 지주양 잠배양 고주야 말이지 교에 매바체
So at this stage, the generation stage, so we are carrying out all this practice as imaginary level. Yeah, there's no actual things happening. So, in Tibetan we call Merpa Yije. Merpa Yije is imagination that is not a fake, something like that. Imagination that you are doing imagination, but with full conviction, sort of like full kind of like awareness. It's not like playing, sort of like Merpa Yije. It has some different elements. So yes, so then when you do this is still like an imaginary level. It's not, for instance, if you're, even though if you may not have seen emptiness yet, but you're pretending or imagining yourself seeing actual emptiness at the moment when you are at the symbol the taking that as a manakaya. Okay? Sorry, taking that as a dharmanakaya. Dharmanakaya. And again, when you do the pardo practice, the visualizing as the manjushri, you're not actual manjushri at the moment, but you're just doing in the visual, the imagination level, and just making it up, sort of like. But this this is doing, you are carrying out this with the Merpa with Merpa Merpa means imagination. All these are imagination, but with really fully kind of confidence, sort of like.
다들 디디 잠바다 동반이 kumdu 잠바 정시디 치와 정규 삼발 디디 삼로 실이 요구래 정시디 장야디 아는 줄레미 중 중에 치와디 정규 삼 디체도 동반이 kumdu 삼발제 아니 디체스는 디니 치와 추기 남기디 그것을 치와 추기 남기 디디기야 봐.
So even though it's like imaginary kind of level, imagination, but still when you do meditating on the taking that as dharmanakaya, at that point you're supposed to meditate on emptiness, right? So that at that moment you should be aware, you should think, bring up your thoughts that I'm purifying ordinary death, and that's why I'm meditating on emptiness. And my purpose of doing meditating on emptiness is to eliminate ordinary death. So you need to bring up that kind of awareness, that kind of understanding while you're meditating on that emptiness.
다디네 교도지는 뭐 잠백기 인도 잠바다 정시도 발도도 정리교선 네디 종지디 네 교도지는 뭐 제야디 네디 종지 기위의 상발을 제는 디 제비는 네 쿠파들 빌란치를 루비야데.
So same thing again when you do, you need to apply the same kind of ideas again. When you do the part of the the taking part of being as a samboga kaya, right? So at that point you should think. For instance, this is if you're relying on again the Yamataka practice. Okay? You're being visualizing as the Manjushri. Okay, sorry, Manjushri. So Manjushri, you should think that I'm generating myself as a Manjushri that actually serves as a cause or the cause or the antidote for my ordinary pardo. So my ordinary pardo is the object that needs to be purified, and then for that I'm generating the Manjushri as a cause or the antidote for that negative.
되네 다 지지 용조를 게임들 잠바 아니 량이 좀 교와디 중요하게 치도 아니 네 지지 지지 세상 또 이게 위해 상배 게임에 같이 전에 뒤지고야 뒤지나 니 뒤겨와 중지도 두야 이름을 걸어서 지지 하려서 개발이 지나 니 겨와 두고 남기기 지급도 지기야 이에서는 뒤뒤 랭이 좋은기 겨와디 중요하게 치도 아니 이게 아니 지지게 걸어서도 그걸 역습적이지 개인이 뭐지 개인이 어디 제베나다 저 죽을람 있어야 돼.
So and then the next practice will be taking birth as an Manakaya. So beforehand, when you're about to move on that section meditation, so then you should think that I'm going to generate myself as Yamataka, and that Yamataka will purify or eliminates my ordinary birth. And then ordinary birth, that is again the ordinary birth means the called or the forced by or the propelled by mental affliction karma, okay, karma. So that's going to be purified. And then when you develop yourself as fully developed as Yamataka, so then you should think that that purpose has been served and stuff like that. If you with that kind of meditation, that kind of imagination or meditation, then if you put all these thoughts together, so that kind of act is called taking so the birth as the Nirmanakaya.
다디 다두수 고누디 가레스는 고누디 전주선 심제 탐지거든 상기 조반도 뭐니 또 터비치도 니네티 세야디니 봐도 저거 저 주위네 봐도 이네 저 주위네 고누디 디고 지구예를
So any of these practices, like the Nirmanakaya, the taking that as a Sambhoga, the Dharmanakaya, Pardo as an Nirmanakaya, and Sambhogakaya. I can't myself, sorry. So that as a Dharmanakaya, Pardo as Sambhogakaya, Part as a Nirmanakaya. Wherever you take this practice, so you should always think that the fundamental intention or the motivate, it has to be motivated by the mind called the wish to obtain enlightenment. So that means bodhicitta. Another word that means bodhicitta. So I'm doing all these practices because to help other sentient beings, help the sentient beings. In order to do that, I need to become a Buddha by myself first. So this kind of motivation should be present all the time.
다디 기름제 다 기름제 단지 lama chibe nande chene teche tanje tirba ta inge dabje tuji uta to sidi ta ni 조름 금주 시게.
Donald.
기시바도
기시바도 요것은 그래가 담은 된줄이
담은
중국분들이 가난하고 저친 길로 비싸로 다니는 게 닿게 그래서 Okay, looks like
얘네
기시바도
타메나시스 데트들이 지치지 타메나시 지목군장데 생각나도 타메기 나와 간거 찬스 다디 타메기 남시 치와 추구스 알아주 시 추구지 시 치와디 시 치와디 까버로 시 치와디 얘는 나시디 얘는 다 타메기 나시요 내니 좀 치와디 셴바디 얘는 타메기 나시르바 네 타메기 나시디 막군자한테 있어 네 가난하고로 잡아 진기로 그런지 대시에 갖고 민지 늘지지 된게 나와트 바까기야 늘지지 된게 나와티를 타미게 나왔어요 레니 좀 중에 니 지대지 감지 나들어봐 다디는 알하 곰벨레급스 아니티 바까네 대시에 가 공부해봐 대시에 가 시야가 주시고 도티 공개하러 이게 전반의 지den티 담내게 나와도 바까 사이 시야감 기기하러 디 담내나 시티마 군장 데스드가
So if you
담내게 나 시세티 다 담내게 나 시세티는 nga sa yin sambar chebin aram mi yin sambar chebin thaming na shiti le jiti mi febar sam tambar ba thaming na shiti le ene tuni kombe ne su thaming na shikan ka tu bi ta judo jite ba ki tu chamba thaming na 잠배기 나게 숨이야. 싶은 잠배야는 이들이 탐명이 나시고 지지기도 잠바에 아니 탐명이 나시거리야. 나 지지에 상가접이나 다 탐명이 나시간 그 가고래서 나기 가야디 주 탐명이 나시스 놀루라 전주고 셈 고민데 탐명이 나시디 거기야 말이야. 전주기 semkumne 아니 담이기 나시기 가고야 말이야. 더 인사도 나 그것보다 담이기 나시간 가고야.
So, okay, if you look at the verse number 90 again, inspire me to practice the first stages, simulated yoga that transforms birth, death, and body into three Buddha bodies. Okay, now the next one. So that when ordinary perceptions and conceptions becomes pure, right? Tamenangshika, in Tibetan it says Tamenangshika. So Tamenangshika means you need to block all the ordinary appearances and conceptions. Means Nangshin, we have two things, right? Nangshin, Nang is like appearances. Here it says perceptions.
No, 담이기 나와서야지. 그는 나름 치료지, 심미를지 나서나 담이기 나와서야 돼. 이 심미를 시작한다는데 심버스야 돼. 수수 나인데 잠바 가르쳐 그래. 담이기 나왔지. 네디 나 가르쳐 그래. 담이 봐 지인 삼바지. 저 페버지 선발 제비는 담이 심버지 전 지지고 사고 차리는 정말 담이게 안 답에 나왔지 지지는 이 선버지 심버지 담이게 나시니까 심버지 그래서 그래 지지는 이서 지지는 맞을래 인지 정말 이 담이 나왔지 심버지가 그래 담이 나왔지 아니 담이 나왔지 기타 까타게 아주 지지는 이 선버지네 팔도 나 인지 정말 담에를 지는 그래 봐 그러니까 인도 동반이 고민도 전부 다 담이 나시간 까도 진짜 담이 심버디다 담이 심버디 조가 나오지 대정리 디 그렇죠 담이 나올 때까지 그거 해야 되지 조디 담이 심버디 가고
So here they translate as the perception and nangshin in Tibetan. Okay, perception and conception, right? So perception and nangshin in Tibetan, nang they translate as a perception and shen as a conception. Okay, nang means things that appears to you, right? And shen means here's this conception of the conception. That means that you're no shen means you're truly believing in that whatever appears to you in that manner, whatever whatever it could be. For instance, if you're looking at a cat, right, it appears into you in a certain way, then you believe in that, your perception, believe in that, truly believe in that. That is shenpa. It's like some kind of feeling, sort of like feeling. Perception is more like a kind of like object, but maybe not the right way to say that. Anyway, it's just to get an idea. Okay. And then for instance, that's a different I, right? I. So we have this tendency like being yourself, seeing yourself as an ordinary, and believing in that ordinary nature all the time. So we have that natural kind of instinct, sort of like we have that. So then when we do, and again, and among these two things, right, we have now two different things. Perception and conception, whatever the perception appearance, and then the believing that appearances, truly believing in that appearances. So in among these two things, the first one is not that big danger. So like even you may have all these appearances. That is something you cannot avoid sometimes. So for instance, as soon as you open your eyes, when you think, when you feel, when you experience ordinary, always that comes to you as an ordinary. But you can stop the second one, believing in that. So then that is something we have that kind of capacity to do this kind of practice, not believing in whatever you whatever you see, whatever appears to you, that object sort of like. So when we do this practice, the blocking all these ordinary appearances, that is done in this practice. This is the what you call this first stage or the generation stage from the beginning. So everything when we try to dissolve into empty everything and meditating on this emptiness in that nature, when we reach that mood, we kind of able to block both, the perception, what's it, the conception, yeah, perception and conception. There's no perception and there's no conception. Okay, no perception, there's no mistaking like idea on that an object or anything. Then when we go through all these practices, then for instance, when we reach to the practice of taking that as this Logakaya, so here we are kind of eliminating or blocking out your ordinary death, and seeing your ordinary death, okay, or viewing your ordinary death. And then when you reach to that emptiness point, so again you're blocking the perception as well. What was perception? Conception of that, believing in that. There's nothing in that, right? What like taking care of, like what there's not any like presence. There's two things, okay? And when you do the practice of the pardo, taking pardo as sambhogakaya, so you're visualizing yourself as the Manjushri, right? There's no perception, there's appearances pure, there's no ordinary appearances, and believing in yourself as an actual Manjushri, so then you are not believing in ordinary stuff. This is like like a pure kind of object, sort of like some Manjushri. So then again, you take care of all those two things. There's nothing present, these two wrong things, sort of like. And the same thing for the birth, right? When you develop yourself as a Yamataka, there's no perception, there's no conception of ordinary. Ordinary, we're talking ordinary. Ordinary perception and ordinary conception.
Yeah, that is Tanyige dabje tu utatus. Tati zorim dishavare. Ninge dabje se ninga ta se dabre. Za dile. Za romasia to kyamasia jiare. Ninge dabje tu utasu de seti. Ninga la ni za dile. Za uma. Ninge za uma dile. Dhamma jese. Zandab jayare. Ninge za ummatila. Zandab jayare. Jige ume dudi nandu sundute sedeta ummatita ummati. Dudi yus kato sundute. Zandab jayu segi uikila asige. Ninge dabje dudi yu tato seti. Jiri. Ninge jitan 주 잔득 소니 세지 니가 제발 잔득 주주 세지 니가 잔득 제세지 대화를 잔득 주주리 세지 잔득 시도가 개처해지는 시래지 어디에서 니게 자, 엄마들 잔득게 제사 인게 잔득 답게세 담게체 이게 일세 이제 담게 진짜이네 잔득게 두시 디위들에스베다
So now move to verse number 91. As you place your feet on glorious protector at the very center of my heart, it petals. Yeah, it petals. So there's a heart chakra. Heart chakra has 8 petals and 8 branches. Branches. And actually, this idea comes from actually this our body in this system. So we have 32 petals at the crown chakra, at 16 petal or branches at the throat chakra, at the heart, and 64 at the navel. So these are the main chakras or main the channels, sort of like channels in our body. There are 4 of them, right? 4, yes, 4. And then so this practice, the verse number 90 is the practice is called completion stages. Okay, practice of completion stage. Here now you're beginning to visualize channels and chakras.
이게 답게 도스제니 다디 고엔기 샤르세 고발렌 조하시도 다디 데데마다 라마디야 두림제니 단지 이거 라마추바 초신이바 초신디 게디야 데네 라마 두림제인데 지비 라마도스 도지창라디 다니 디 예윤이를 잠자라 뒤 드니야지 자라나마라 뒤 나지 다 자라나마 뒤니가를 야지 잠자니 부모님 파티 도시자들 기준에 마틴 라마로 산도 통한도 찬스이지 이런 말이 다 그런 지고래서 그런 지고래들이 그런 지고를 되죠 지고를 되죠 네 지고네 마 우메나르마 민게다 제주도 그런지 샵세 그거 렌즈와스인들 그런 키스나마로 산통한도 찬디 민게다 주지 위해서 제 아니 어디 집에서 주지 의다도 그런지 샵세 그거 렌즈와스 그 라마노 산통한도 찬디 샵세 그거 샵디 다 안주 니가 담아 계획 수 가해야서네 신도 차를 무슨시야지 디디야 딜라 파팅바리 딜라 파팅이 일이나 단신이 처리 디메 버티죠 다디 텔라말로 찬통한테 디디는 마티 인게 디디 수 아니 신도 차를 무슨시지 팔레토데 감가보다 말레토데 감마부 당전이야 디유수 신부터의 농심심의 디유수 유시 데르파디 대당어 예매를 지체 신부터의 농심디 라말로 사토스 창공오리아 예매 둔제 개버가 디니쿠 유리나다시게 어디 재산 원주 샵세 kurba lenjo se kilu suntu chuga namus se kilu suntu chuga tine sunju kubanti 근데
네 가서 좀 소신상 때문에 그러래.
아
소신상 때문에 그러래.
네. 이제 제시 지우를 전시 봐. 제시 지우를 전시来应该变成新主了。对的，下次有阶段的学是对不对？继续把这个故事的有点不同的人就他们那些怎么他们来不及了，应该的大手地方的，现在我们都知道经历了，对吧？这个日子，继续就这个日子，对的。
对了。我的这个说的那么是那个就是么？
我也对现在那个，
对，去年那么去年就够掉。你这
前面都真正的这种经历的这种，是吗？
这个铁道连锁说大概就拉面过程这个那这些是干嘛的呢？人的起源。那时候的阶段，这些东西，拉曼尼巴也是天的新的老板就，不是说拉曼尼巴是，拉曼尼巴是这个那是那唱的，阿拉马蒂拉新的那是什么 ？Okay, verse number 91, right? Okay, so it says, as you place your feet, O glorious protector, or the lama, I think here there's a lama, I think that. Protectors at the very center of my heart at paddles inspire me to actualize in this very life. Okay. So here at this point, we have the married field in front of us, right? The main figure as your lama, Tuan lama, Buddha, and the Vajradhara. Stacking two beings at the same time in the middle, right? And above we have all these lineage lamas. On the right side, on the right side we have the group lama from the Maitreya, right? On the left side we have group lama with Manjushri, right? And there's another group lama front of this root lama, right? Root lama, okay. 5, types of lamas, right? 5 different types of lamas. Now they begin to dissolve, okay? So the above, we have a group of lama with Vajradhara dissolves into Vajradhara. And the right side, we have a group of lama with the Maitreya. All these lamas dissolves into Maitreya. The right side, every lama dissolves, lineage lamas, okay, these are the lineage lamas, sorry. Lineage lama dissolves into Manjushri. In the front, we have a group of lama, they dissolve into the man lama, okay, man lama. So then begin to dissolve all these lamas, begin to from the right side to the right side, the right shoulder, and the left side to the right, and the left shoulder to the man lama, and the above to the lama. Okay. Now we have left only one lama. Lama with lama tuan dojishan lama Buddha Vajradhara, right? You know how to visualize there, right? Okay. Lama Buddha Vajradhara then comes towards you, enters into your prana or the channel, and goes to your heart. And there's a very subtle, very more subtle sort of like wind combination of wind and mind, right? Air and mind, and dissolves into that. As soon as it dissolves into that kind of acts called arising elucidated body within, okay, inside, so within. Okay? So then we have that's all.
So the 두림지 제야 말이야.
두림지 재미도 하시죠.
두림 마체네. 다 차와 진기로 없어도 쏘았던 비를 봐. 인제다 제 공기 샤스 거다. 세끼를 손도 주변한데 니 또 차와 진기로
Okay. At this point, you are just making a prayer, or you're just requesting. Okay, making a request. She says, "Oh, let me aspire and stuff there." Right here comes here. Inspire me to actualize in this very life.
lama 코란이야 쏘았던 비를. 단들 lama 이거 초신 이야를 봐. 그들이야.
두림 시오르베.
두림 마치지.
마시아브로 하다.
샤니. 그이처럼 인게다
Okay.
샤슨 거 발렌주. 내가 세트 손도 집안 소주 그만해.
Anyway, so this is the visualization you should done, but at this point again you are making just a request, okay? You request, right? And then and they inspire me to actualize in this very life the path of clear light and elusive body and their union. I don't know. Here looks like we have 3 different things, but anyway, it's like there's only one union, okay? Not in separate all these things.
Number 2 today. 지산이다 순주승에 간에서 그래서는 세다 규링이 거 초인데 세 녀로 생문도 지게 되네 규링문도 지게 다 뒤에는 군인이 쳐버려 봐 세대 규링이가 녀도 초인데 순주 그만 순주시게 되라 순주시야 될 레벨 순주도 레벨 순주시야 돼 산제 이미지도 많이 니야 돼 제사다 순주시야 돼 순도 주야 돼 가래서는 세다 규링이 되겠어
뭔가 딜레야 이 순주도 있고 말와
아
뭔가 있나
응아지나네 디마트 류엔싱이 되지
아 류엔이 뭐지 마음에 뭐지 these completion stages. In completion stages, there are 5. Sometimes there are 5 stages. Sometimes there are 5 stages. Sometimes there are 6 stages. Okay, so according to 6 stages, Like first starts with body isolation, the speech isolation, mind isolation, and clear light, and the illusory body, and the union of clear light and illusory body. Yeah. And the union has two parts, like unenlightened union and the enlightened union. The training union, some people call training union in the training path, and the union in the untraining path. Okay, so there are two of those. If it's like a count as five, so that actually limits the first one. It starts from the speech isolation and so on.
두 번째 방이나 시주 생제기 루이 차파 또 말이 민거를 다티 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 되는마 제 되니 조림기 남니 실을 치더를 예바티니 타게기 남도 규티 묘도 초 그걸 제바이나 스타시 조림 세야티 조림 세야티 조바 세야티 시드네 랑기 랑체스 유니 치아르바 디다 춤바 콤바이나 산 조림 세야티 조림 세야티 메바이 치 수치르바 다 조림 람니 실라 치더를 예바티니 타게기 남도 규티 묘도 그걸 제바이나 시주스 생제기 류 차바 토마르 닝가르 차신스 다티 닝게 답제 주도도 세트 가르스네 생제기 토마 두임도 잡아 닝가네 두임 닝게 카도 되네 아니 닝가 되냐를 두 되네 류에 마 알아라 소바티 야 류들 소바티 야 제야티 제두에르바 토마 닝가티 두비유사 아니 시두스 생제기 류차방 토마 닝가르 차신 어디 시두스 생제기 류차인도 닝가르 차신의 지야 닝가르 차세야 패쳐래 대화를 차세야 지야 다지 인산 닝가르 차세야 닝게를 신도 타래 가르쳐 신도 타래 눈심 세야지 닝게 나를 쳐게 딱 이제 닝게 태리디 니를 쳐 제네 림시 페버바 딘데다 tumba 단데 조름디 디야 닝가를 뒤네 치세다 심제 차인데 저네 이제 담보인데 태도 니가 차 다 치인데 남시간 그 파주니 닝가를 뒤니 닝가를 시차도 did the timbers.
So now the complete practice of completion stages in Tibetan called Dzogchen. So Dzog means complete, right? Complete, and it has also another connotation. So like Dzog means like equipped within that thing, sort of like Dzog complete, and equipped with complete kind of a set, sort of like that. Dzog means. So in this tradition, this practice, Dzogchen practice, we are using our existing elements, existing things, sort of like. Yeah. So these chakras, we call them chakras, channels, stuff like that. These are actually exist within us, and based on that, using that, our existing property, and utilize that, and then make it into like kind of light and stuff like that. So that's why it's called Dzogchen practice. Okay. And then another practice, that's what it's called completion practice. And another practice is generation practices. This is heavily or like a totally, based on imagination. Yeah, there's no substantial kind of like things like Dzogchen practice, just imagination, or everything is done on imagination kind of level. Dzogchen is different. Okay, so it's using something our object or property that in utilizing that things, the actual ones. Then here it says, and also this practice is very, incorporate with like our natural kind of process, okay, natural thing. Okay? So this is something we have naturally, so we use that, utilize that. And for instance, here it says all the lamas, yeah, as you place your feet and glories at my center of my heart. Yeah, there's a reason for that because and it said that when we take a birth or when we all sentient beings, so their existence begins from their heart. Yeah, then heart that actually branches out and spreads out, and we have all these other things, limbs and stuff like that. And this is very commonly kind of accepted in this tradition. This tradition, it's saying like everything begins from the heart. But there's another tradition. It said that the sentient beings begins from the navel. Yeah, there's another thing. But the first one is more commonly kind of accepted so like.
다리. 다음 문제 세차세야지 조림지 인간의 차부리에 세차세야지 세차지다 생주 시도 잠바 세차세야라 이 인간의 신도 차에 생지야라 이 문제 조인가 이 문제 조인데 치워 세차세야 이 Assembly Simarapa Kanga Gachi in Martinio. Dine Chiwa says it, Chisim Tamosi, Chisim Tamudi, Ningal, Chiwa Sicha into Zamban, Chisim Tamuti Chelia. Chiwa said the gas on the battle together. Yet these are chiwa Sichasati Ningal is. 인간의 차, 저 외시 들레니 딜리트 투비에 제사
And then when we visualize, when we meditate on emptiness, then we begin to put everything at the heart and see clear light over there, right? So that is also because our clear light is always resides at our center channel all the time, right? And what happens is like, so we say like to a shine means like shine, the shine of the clear light, shining of the clear light, uh, rising of the clear light and stuff like that, right? It always takes place at the heart, at the heart or the heart chakra. Because then everything dissolves into emptiness, and then we have like the dissolution process. At the end, what happens like all this gross level of mind consciousness kind of stops, right? Dissolves. Then the clear light kind of shines up, sort of like it's like it rises. It's not like you newly produced or something like that. It's like it's been like hidden, covered. So because of your it could be yoga or natural death process, everything kind of eliminates. It shines up. It like kind of rises from that moment. Then when you leave from that moment, so then you enter into the battle. So then you don't have it. Then you don't have that moment. This thing or the clear light has been in your heart all the time. It shines. It stays there and it shines from there. Oh yeah. So then after that, once you're able to actualize clear light, then clear light actually helps us to obtain the illusory body.
다음에 만주 시 구숨세지 시 구숨세지 니갈 내게래 시 구숨 시 롱구 시 주구 시 롱구 시 주구스 시 주구스니까 시 주구디다 신도 잘생데 이제 시 롱구디 시 주구디 신도 잘 롱제 시 롱구디 신도 태에 룽디긴 당들라 나시거든요. 신도 태에 나시네 그날도야 신도 태에 디야 구순도 제인데 나디 lunga yisum yarba 신도 태에 lunga yisum 세제리 티 닝갈 야리 신도 태에 셈지지 셈디기 셴바기 룽지지 룽디 당디 나스지 디스 일에 시 구숨세 니 람지 구숨세 제 구숨세야디 저 니가 듣네게 니가 내 구숨세야디 디 조림 비티지 그렇지.
So the in the zoning practice, it called the three kayas on the basis. Yeah. Three kaya on the basis means that we have a subtle mind and subtle air, subtle wind. Okay, and that subtle wind has a radiation. So radiation that is actually our speech, the speech, right? So these are the quality or the property, something that we possessed. We have that within ourselves, right? So when we become, we are using that property and then make it enlightened instead, sort of like purify them and becomes enlightened. So that's why we use our basic object or basic, the property that we have possessed and utilize them. And through this practice, we are talking about like this conditioned practice, okay? Then become enlightened.
먼저 시주도 봐. 라벨 유티 그 매비차도 우리 슈마 메타단도 봐. 라벨 유티 줘야야 말이 겨치마다. 그때니 봐도 유튜브 주기 이 수치하러 봐. 그 가르쳐서는 레시기는 신도 처음이지. 어디 봐도 유튜브 주기야. 신도 처음에 봐도 셈도 주기야. 나란주기 아니 셈라바칸가 가주이바 가 류데데샤 아니 주기야르바 류다바티 데샤는 주기야르바 다티 만두니기 류치야리 티카레스네 신도 처음이지야리 셈기션 바기베 신도 처음이지 시마 봐도 류 주치티리 이 신도 처음에 세기 셈티 봐도 셈티 디네 봐도기 신도 처음에 룽되기 당디 봐도 나데 당지야르바 룽레 당지야르바
So when we die, we leave our gross body behind, and the gross body behind, right? So then when we enter into the pardo realm, so then we take on pardo form inside of that. So this gross body is not going to serve as a cause for our pardo body. Okay, so because this body is going to stay behind us, huh? And we have what is actually cause of our the body of pardo's body, pardo being's body. So that is the cause of that will be our subtle wind. The subtle wind actually becomes this is our like our basic kind of property, right? So this become they serve as the cause to the pardo being's body. And the mind, again, minds, we have like different levels of mind, consciousness or mind. So this is we're not going to take that again. So it's going to live here, everything's going to cease, everything's going to disappear, sort of like. Then we enter into the subtle mind. So that subtle mind serves the mind, the cause for the part of being's mind. Yeah. And there's a speech. Part of being, they have like a speech called speech, like kind of verbal action, sort of like. And then the radiation of the wind, or the down means the hue of the radiation of the wind actually becomes the cause of part of being speech. Yeah. So similar like that. So this similar like we use these things for basic three things for our part of being similar like the other to the when the Buddha sort of like.
다한테 시 고숨 세티 고숨 많이 쓰게 시 농구도 농구 말이 시 주부도 주부 말이 시 수부도 수부 말이 쓰게 그래서 그걸 민다셔 이 수부도 지래 지기 시 주부디 주부도 지래 주부도 지래 시 아니 농구디 아니 농구도 지 농구 지다 저 농구 세야지 그 말을 쓰게 농주도 봤어요. 그러면 말을 쓰게 해서 아니 시 수그 수그디 시다 주고 농구 주고 쓰라가 시 주고디 주고 말이지 그 주고 주지 되게 어디에서 시 구순디 그 민다셔 무슨 진입을 말이지.
So then these three basic properties are we call them basis of the Sambhoga the Dharmanakaya, basis of the Sambhogakaya, basis of Nirmanakaya, right? But they are not actually Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya, Dharmanakaya. So okay, they're not. That means, in other words, that means they are not actual Buddha, right? So, but they have a potential to arise in that form. So that's why we use this phrase called basis of Sambhogakaya, basis of Nirmanakaya, and what's it? Dharmanakaya. Okay.
That is deep down.
Okay, we'll stop here. And do you have any questions?
Can you explain a little bit more the difference between the subtle wind and the radiation of the wind?
I don't know, maybe it's the right translation for that. Radiance, right? Radiance. Vibration, yes, vibration or radiance. Yeah. But the 롱기 당라니 like this 가르쳐 봐야 돼. 수능은 하세요.
사바자지 어디지도가 너무 잘 라빠 얘는 어디 전부 연구를 봐. 롱 친주진의 그럴지 당지야래지. 롱들이 당지야래. 그 슈지 레이드지. 다지다지도가. 롱 라빠들이 야르바 롱디 연구자만에 어디 싶이 야르바. 그래 다지야래. 롱 친주래 롱 참을래. 얘들 팀들 그런 당지야래.
So radiation, like when wind moves, right? It produces sound. Okay, so that sounds like that. But when we have a strong wind or storm or something like that, we can hear that. But if there's a sound for like that big storm or the big wind, then we can tell that there's a sound, even it's like a little, where like fragile kind of like a wind still has some sound.
가가야 됐어. 롱그 다대 암조 특을 봐. 암조 특을이 롱디 마고 롱디 마통편에 암조 롱그 다대 암조 특을 봐.
So
롱 가가야 롱다 롱그 다니 버티.
So there's one major difference is like you can hear the sound of the wind, but you cannot see the wind, right? Even before wind comes towards reach to you, you can hear the wind, the sound of the wind is coming in any direction, right? But there's so this you can hear the sound, but not you cannot hear. I don't know. Anyway, you can hear the sound. The difference is that one major difference.
롱 라바티는 다 수토야 여봐. 다 남시도 신발도 롱세야티. 수토야스게 말해서 롱 수참지래. 남시세야티 쿠판도야티 롱도 필요해. 남시의 본번들의 미시의 본번은 중요하대 그 선발적인 룸들이 그 이어되는 그 주고 있어요.
So it said that every consciousness that have wind associated with wind means like the amount of wind, right? when, for instance, eye consciousness, when you look at an object in order to have contact with that object, so there's eye consciousness that kind of travels and to that object, mounting on the wing and travels to that object and contact with that object.
Rinpoche said that there's another tradition about the breath coming in through the navel.
Yeah.
Can you just speak to that for a minute?
Так надо because the 심지 차야 대원 차야 지어서 니콜라 디스로写
应该写miss，
He
这
doesn't
家是
He said no.
know. He doesn't know. There is a tradition.
Oh, but it's not.
There's a tradition that said that starts from the navel. But
It's
I don't
not
know.
considered a valid one, or it's not anything part of it.
I don't know. 천대 많이 받아. 근데 지금 가서 지 개체 뭐 많이 받아. 천대 많이 받는 레베스. 들어왔어 레베스 뭐.
예, 한번
I don't know. Okay. No more questions?
Is that clear? Everybody's clear about it?
아,
Okay, then we'll.
Really?
Why? Okay, no questions, right?
More questions?
We have still time, but
We have time.
was everyone hungry?
You have to think about it for hours before we have our questions.
Okay, I have a question.
어쨌든
Okay, right.
그것도 뺏어.
Maybe you're not hungry.
How would you know when you are ready to switch from to be initiated into a completion stage,
Oh, from
from the generation stage?
That's the 게임 게임 조림을 야 가도 파티 표고에 메디 주스 가도 하나 사고 그랬어. 조림 기 냐면제 두질레보다 하나 사고 그랬어.
아, 뭐가 이제 또 많이 봐. 그렇지, 룸도지. 아, 나는 주지야리. 뭐가 이제 제니. 다디 멤버 수상버리지. 때에 두면 봐 수상버리지. 이들 감슈 수상버리지. 이제 삼단이 지지야제리. 아, 다디 많이 버지. 뭉크란 야 말을 떡지. 아니 이 감슈스나 롱도 기스였다. 배 도림도 수 롱도 떡지. 도림지 용도나 삼 먼저 때데 도림지야 기름 그냥 수 삼노다니. 다디 사출의 팀수 주멜의 팀수 삼도 되지 매배도 지게여 봐. 도림도 말이 매배도 지제도. 다 진짜 많이 봐 매발은 맞지 봐. 지게 니 너네기 지 롱도 지. 사인 주원기 롱디. 롱프라 튀려도. 사이 매바 이제 또 지 많이 봐. 사이 주원기 셴바이주가 롱프라. 매발을 맞춰봐 팀이야지. 이렇게 팀을 매 셴바이주가 롱티 팀이야지. 사이 추이 셴바이주가 롱 중 산무스 이메누스 봐. 이 롱티데 그런 매발을 맞춰봐. 빈버전에 팀이야지. 이 팀지 롱도 기팀스. 근데 중수나 아니 이제 조림 레토리에
닌저기 또 지하에는 매바 치워 말해.
매배도 지지.
매바 치워 말해. 닌저기 또 지하에는. 그런 팀도네.
아, 이제 매배도 지지가 돼.
인구 말하지, 인구.
내가 뒤에 또 있고, 팀도 돼. 먼저 단대지 매가 지게 돼. 팀도 야 말아. 팀들이 매가 지게 돼. 사출의 팀송산
그래서
매롱의 팀송산을 매버치게르디 팀기야 말했단다. 다시 말이 내저 딘데지레지 내 팀도
그런 게 있지 뭐다. 그냥 게임체디야 봐. 게임 타르스는 일단 저런데 표현하기 뒤에 간대 좀 하고 왜
눈급지 딘데지
제통나
제통나
Okay. First, let me describe what's the difference between the completion stages practice and the generation stages practice, right? In the generation stages practice, we visualize, even though we go through all this dissolution process and everything, and our wind is nothing happened with our wings. Okay, this is just remain. It's like this kind of natural kind of like thing. It's nothing happening in our wings. Stuff sort of like we're just doing what like it's just visual. I mean like just imagination, like an imagination level. So imaginary all these things, right? But in these completion stages, if you put that thoughts, right, and meditate on that, your actual wings begins to kind of move. They move. For instance, there's a wind that associated with your earth element, fire element, and all these elements, right? If you withdraw all this wind, then the earth elements tend to dissolve, fire, water, and so on, right? It happens. So this is actually the practice of completion stages. You're actually playing with your wind energy, sort of like, right? But and then I ask again your questions, and when you can tell you're ready for completion practice completion sessions. If you're able to withdraw all these winds, yes, you're ready for completion stages.
So can I ask Rinpoche, what does it feel like? How would you know? Is it just like it's? I mean, I'm assuming it's not like.
You really wanted to make sure you don't miss it. 딱 그랬어요. 딱 그래. 가서 간대 하고 그랬어. 간대 땅아디 갈라고 가서 디 조링이 남는 시에들래 생각 간대 딱딱 그런 간대 소화로 가르기에 간대 하고 그래.
단단 그래도 지도 담바티 레기 톱지 아니 중앙티 레기 톱지 팀도 해야래. 나도 어제 다 중앙 마틴 거네 매버치게 해라 봐. 기름 그는 게 매버치게 할 때 중앙티 팀 투야 말이. 조림 그 값을 때 진짜 내저도 짱인데 담발롱네 팀도 해야래. 마 저기 신도 트레스는 것도 제 투야. 근데 제 신도 트레스는 semdingum chetona ani zorim siyatlete anandu tanda chibudu tamba lungtob ge mari meveto ge mari lekito ge joati ge rin chene chuo se chogera tati kirim ginaga sumuzugi mevache tasa chulatis tete sege chigi arete timbiya mari tati karere chego ya de karere sunu shuma 팀이 이제 전부 다들 하고네 이 지도 전부 양내 요약이 뒤야리 쳐버쳐 다들이 조림 값수 되네 이만에 내저를 장발을 때네 룸티 눈에 눈을 아파트리 팀 두기야리 단도 먼저 때는 매바치기야 돼 팀이야 말아 아니 이제 문제 사주를 왜 시차도 좀 내가 제일 좀 책임이도가 다 딘데 차에 주지려서는 아니
좀 신의 디그리라고 그래.
딘데
Okay. So basically the answer to your question is like when you see clear light, okay, so then you're ready for the completion stages, practice completion stages, sort of like that. That, for instance, you see clear light when you are dying, okay? So that clear light occurs because of your karma. Karma is the force of your karma. Karma is will force you to get into that state and make you able to see clear light. But that is not force of your yoga practice. Then any force by dissolving the winds in your channel, okay? forceful, you meant like intentional, sort of like not intend to do that. So then when you're able to do that, when you're able to withdraw wind and see clear light, all right, clear light, just is a clear light, I don't know, clear light, then you're ready to, not like, it's not because of your karma. You need to do like, Menju talk means force of your yoga practice. If you have a clear light, then you're ready for completion stages.
Is there any adverse effect if you just say if I'm not ready for it, but I decide to take it? Is there a negative for doing that?
When I said that the other has the has the zorim gidila che maru gon su che bai na su ju mami gon che bai na si wata mami gon che bai na ila ni kyeng ni ngure bes go
저런 냠내 제거래. 그게 말이 냠내 제거래. 저런 냠내 제거래. 롱 고미야를 근데 야르바. 저런 길에 아니 dumme 고미야다 근데 야르바. 저런 냠내래. 저런 냠내 제거래지. 저런 연주 잠바 냐를 자는 마잠바 저런 톡톡 가는 여야 말이. 저런 냠내 제거래. 아니 진짜 저런부터 벗겨버려. 냠내단 마치바 이기는 근데스.
So, but you have to practice completion stages. You have to do this practice. Without doing practice, you're not going to get it, right? So you have to do the practice. For instance, there are practices like practicing practices like wind yoga and fire yoga. Fire yoga means tumu practice. Yeah, tumu practice. All of these are practice of completion stages. So you have to do practice of completion stages.
야, 돼야지. 기름 탈 마침 네 조림 냠내 치냐야. 야, 리치 기름 탈 마침 봐도 조림 냠내 마침이 지야.
또 탈심 비체드 가르샤. 올디샤고 한요.
야,
탈심 비체드.
기름 탈체선는다. 가르쳐 그래.
잘 기름 또 없어 뭐.
시도 저 다지 기름 공공 기름 참고 공공에 롱 오메나 중에 팀수 토마 중인데 좀 봤더니 기름 다 집으래 기름 참으셔야지 이 공부할 때니 롱 오메나 중에 팀수 중수나 기름 타르지
중에 팀수 참고 걸어
팀버지 오메나 팀버지
so the what's the I think the corresponding
기름 다른 마침
sorry. Okay.
기름 저를 맞는 공이지. 야 리치는 기름 다른 마침 버튼 저를 마분이지.
Okay. Now there are different ways to do practice. These two stages, right? Some people they practice together, even though they are not complete. The first stage is they start doing the completion stage, practice of completion stage. That one means like alternate each other, not to each other. Some practitioners, they wait until they complete the generation stages. Once they get some kind of taste of generations, completion of the generation stages, they move to the completion stages. Yeah? So the kind of like that point, the line when you complete the completion stages will be like something that forces your imagination. You are able to enter the wind into the central channel, abide the central into not just only entering your wind into the central channel, but it needs to be abide and dissolve. So once you're able to dissolve that, so then you're ready for completion stages. This is like entering wind into the central channel, and on the central wind enters into central channel, abides into central channel, resulting to central channel means like the force of your yoga practice, not natural stuff.
Right.
야, 내가 실은 차지할 때는 너무 맛있는 것을 제봐야 돼. 이 검도 좀 말이.
And also sometimes partner or the mudra can actually help you to do these 3 stages, like entering, abiding, dissolve, we need to center the channel. But that is not course of your yoga practice though. Okay.
아, 예.
사시 베개 중심